Hello everyone and welcome back to Steins Gate Zero. I'm G, and we have been tracking down a song that KAGARI recognized from the future, which was taught to her by Mayuri, who learned it from Suzuha, who was taught it by Yuki, who heard it from Rintaro's mother. Wow, so Yuki's a friend of yours! After hearing the shocking news that KAGARI's song traced its roots all the way back to my mom, we went back to the lab. It would have been embarrassing to call my mom in front of Mayuri and KAGARI, so I went out up to the roof in the cold to call home. When I asked my mom if she was going to a cooking class, she seemed surprised that I didn't know. I see, that song, huh? I had no idea I was singing it. That's kind of embarrassing, huh? Where'd you learn that song? Where? Like, you heard it on the radio? Or maybe you heard someone else singing it? It was you. Huh? You used to sing it. What? Well, what? What are you talking about? That's impossible. You remember when you were in middle school, Mayuri got really depressed, right? When her grandma died. Everybody was really worried, but one day she suddenly got better. But then you started going crazy. What was all that about? You were a bad scientist? Please stop. Was there anything in the world more terrifying than hearing about your own dark history from your mom? When you started being a bad what's-its, you would sing that song whenever you took a bath. You sang it so often, I guess I learned it. I sang it? That's right. You don't remember? Oh, customer's here. Bye! It's going to rain soon, so come home quick. Seriously? Oh, Green, how'd it go? Did you find anything out? I explained what I'd heard from my mom, even though I didn't really understand it myself. What? What? Yeah, they were surprised. I was more surprised than anybody. I was so surprised that I was actually feeling pretty calm. So, what does this all mean? Did it mean? KAGARI had learned the song from Mayuri in the future. Mayuri had learned it in the present from Suzuha. Suzuha had learned it from Yuki in the future. Yuki had learned it from my mom. And my mom had learned it from me. Did I ever sing? Maybe she doesn't remember. If it was a popular song, maybe I would have hummed it, but... no luck. I can't remember. What do we do? We're out of clues, aren't we? Maria looked like she was about to cry. KAGARI gave her a gentle hug. Please calm down, Mayuri. Kobe, does the fact that you sang it when Mayuri was depressed give you any kind of clue? I don't know. I didn't really do anything special. All I did was go see Mayuri when she was visiting her grandmother's grave. That was when Hyoma Hoin, now sealed away, had been born. Should we go to her grave then? You might remember something. Was that possible? After all this, I want to see this through to the end. Oh, Green, maybe she wants you to do it too. Okay, let's go. Thank you. The sun was about to set, so we decided to go the next day. The next day, the sky had been cloudy since morning. I met with KAGARI and Mayuri at a spot near the cemetery where her grandmother was buried. It looks like it's going to rain, huh? I didn't bring an umbrella. Mother said it wasn't going to rain. Maybe she didn't either. I never brought an umbrella when it wasn't raining. In other words, nobody had an umbrella. Let's finish this before the rain starts. Okay. Your grandma will be happy you came, I bet. Yeah, And Kagari's here today, too. I can't wait to introduce my wonderful new friend to Grandma. Mayuri. Okay, let's hurry. There's a lot of she wants to tell Grandma. Yeah, let's hurry. We finally arrived at the cemetery. The skies were getting darker and it felt like it could rain at any moment. We finished cleaning the grave, and each of us put our hands together in front of us. Then Mayuri sat down and started talking to her grandma. Kagari and I watched her from a short distance away. And then Kagari came in and she was so surprised, she fell down and went bang! Maybe she was really scared and really worried. I had to go to work. So I sent Ocarina and Daru, take care of Kagari, and left the lab. I was so worried, I thought my heart was going to burst. Okabe, Kagari whispered to me, concerned. Oh, don't worry about Mayuri. It's kind of like a ritual. A ritual? Yeah, she loved her grandma a lot, and when her grandma died, it was like she lost her soul. For about 6 months, she wouldn't say a word to anyone. She'd just come here and stand all day. It was like she was praying to go be with her grandma. And you brought her back, didn't you? How did you know? Mayuri told me. That girl. Aw, come on, it's cool. Shoma Hoenn, the mad scientist. Stop it. I was desperate for any idea I could think of. Looking back, it was the right answer, but it was still really embarrassing. I'd use every bit of knowledge I could scrape up from anime and video games to try and keep Mayuri's soul from leaving us. I won't let anyone take you away. Mayuri is my hostage. She's a sacrifice for my human experiments. There is no escaping me. Ha ha ha. Oh. Maybe she's your hostage. I guess I'm stuck here, huh? No. I think that's a wonderful story. Is it? It is. Huh. Hmm? It started raining. I looked up just in time for a drop to fall on my cheek. A cold rain started to come down. Didn't think it would start so soon. What should we do? We just gotten here and hadn't done anything yet. I wanted to at least do a little research before we left. Let's find a place where we can get out of the rain. We can get umbrellas at the convenience store if we need them. Okay. Mayuri, let's head back to the station for now. Huh? Wow, it's raining. The rain started to come down harder as we ran toward the station. Oh, I'm soaked! You should have brought the umbrellas first, huh? We need to take a shower or we'll catch a cold. I know. Kagari, you want to come to Mayushi's house? We can take a shower together. Huh? Mayuri turned around and suddenly stopped. I stopped too. I looked back and saw that Kagari wasn't keeping up with us. She was standing some distance away with a blank look on her face. He was facing us, but seemed to be staring off into the distance. Kagari, what's wrong? I can hear it. Her voice was flat and emotionless. It was like she was a different person than the one that had been there a moment before. What can you hear? A voice. I hear a voice. Kagari? Mayuri started to walk towards Kagari. I have to go. And suddenly, Kagari ran through the puddles of water and out into the street. Kagari! A truck was coming. Kagari, run! Mayuri screamed, and my body moved on its own. I yanked Mayuri's shoulder down and knocked her to the ground so that she couldn't run out on her own. Ah! and then I used that momentum to run out into the street myself. Green! A long time ago, the air wasn't dirty like it is now, so nobody cared if they got wet in the rain. When Mommy was your age, KAGARI, she loved the rain. She ran around outside with Valkyrie. When you run in the rain, it's like you're swimming in the sea. Valkyrie and Mommy were fish, swimming in the sea. The only two fish in the world. It was so much fun. When was that? After I'd been separated from Big Sis Suzuha in 1998, I was locked somewhere for a long time. When did I escape? Why did I escape? I wanted to see Mommy all of a sudden. That was the only reason. At the place where she was kept, KAGARI was waiting for the professor to come like always when she happened to look outside and see that it was raining. When she smelled the water through the window, she remembered what her mom had said. And the next thing she knew, she'd taken off the headset she was wearing. Nobody had expected it, so escaping was easy. She ripped off the cords in her arms and used the little window to go outside. Then she'd snuck in the back of a truck that was just leaving the parking lot. The facility she'd been kept in must have been deep within the mountains. After hours of shaking, the truck finally reached a town somewhere. When the truck stopped, she jumped out and wandered in the rain with nowhere to go. She didn't have any destination in mind. She wanted to see her mum, but didn't know where she was. And even if she did find her, her mum would have been younger than KAGARI and wouldn't know who she was. She'd run away from the facility on impulse, but she had no money, and there was nothing she could do. Except wait for the professor to come find her. Until then, she wanted to get wet in the rain. The rain kept falling for a long time. Her clothes got wet, but she didn't care. It's so weird that the rain doesn't hurt. The rain in this era didn't sting when it landed on your skin. It was warm. For the first time, KAGARI learned that nature could do things other than hurt you. There was life in this rain. That's how it felt to her. The rain in this era was alive. It was totally different than the dead rain of the future. KAGARI kept walking, enjoying the feeling of being surrounded by living rain. How long had she walked? When her legs finally started to get tired, she sat down at a bench with a roof over it. It was a trolley platform. It was unmanned, without even a ticket station. She sat down and looked up at the sky. The rain was still falling. Sure, God doesn't like this rain. He probably likes the dead rain better than the living rain. Otherwise, I can't explain why the rain in the future is dead. The dead rain sure didn't seem better than the living rain to KAGARI. But there was one thing she was sure of. In the future, where Mom was, the rain was dead. When she saw Mom again, the rain would be dead. So she wasn't really mad at God. Are you lost? The boy was standing next to the bench. He was the same age as KAGARI, or maybe a little younger. He was holding an umbrella, but the area below his knees was soaking wet. He must have walked in the rain for a long time. KAGARI said nothing as he sat down next to her. He looked tired and in pain. Me too. The boy talked to her in a voice that was a whisper. What he talked about she couldn't remember. But he seemed to be in so much pain, as if he was carrying the weight of the whole world's sadness on his shoulders. Why had he talked to her when they'd never met before? Why had he decided to open up to KAGARI? Strangely, it didn't bother her. She was the same. She was the same as he was. And strangely, she realized something. There were things in this world that you just couldn't change. There were things in this world where all you could do was watch them slip through your fingers. You couldn't give up on them, but you had no choice but to give up. She felt that despair. Maybe the rain had brought the two of them together. There were so many people in the world, and yet the two of them had no one they could talk to. So maybe the rain had brought them together. The living rain. The warm rain. The gentle rain.
Green and Mommy were fish, swimming in the sea. The only two fish in the world.
Mommy had looked so happy when she told that story. But it sounded sad to KAGARI. Because the world was so big and it was just the two of them alone. It would be lonely and sad to have no one else there. That's what she'd thought. Now she understood how Mom felt. Just a little. Just two fish, alone in the world. That was different than being totally alone. No matter what else, there was someone next to you who felt the same way. It was lonely. She was sure it wasn't that lonely. That's what she felt at the bottom of the sea of living rain.
Searching for one thing. The laughter of the stars. Shining in the wind. If you reach out, you can grab it.
There was nothing KAGARI could do for the boy. But she felt like he needed that song. Next thing she knew, the boy was gone.
Rain's not stopping, huh?
I've been looking for you. Come on, let's go. What's wrong?
I have to go.
She shook off the professor's hand and ran off into the street through the pouring rain. And then she saw a truck splashing up water from the puddles as it came barreling towards her.
I'm alive?
KAGARI woke up and realized she was in a hospital bed.
KAGARI!
Maria was looking down at her with eyes swollen bright red.
Oh, Green, KAGARI's awake!
KAGARI! You were almost hit by a truck. You weren't hurt, but you passed out, so we called an ambulance just in case. You don't have an insurance card, so the bills are probably going to be crazy.
Doesn't matter. It was the only thing we could do. I'm just glad you're safe, KAGARI. Well, Green saved you at the last second. Maybe she thought you were both dead. Maybe she thought...
Don't cry, Mayuri.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Kind of remember. Kobe jumped out to save me. Sorry, I don't know what was wrong with me. Thanks.
No, I'm just glad you're safe. In a fit of emotion, Mayuri leapt on KAGARI.
I'm so glad, KAGARI! I was really worried. Mayuri.
No, that wasn't right. KAGARI finally understood everything. That wasn't right. This wasn't Mayuri. Yes, that's right. This was Mommy.
I finally get to meet you.
Now it was KAGARI's turn to give Mayuri a big hug.
Mommy! Yeah? Huh? Mommy? KAGARI, no, she's not your mommy. You are. You're KAGARI's mommy.
She couldn't stop herself from talking like a little girl. The last 10 years vanished, and KAGARI was once again a small child. Mommy? KAGARI, your memories are back.
Uncle Kareem. I remember it all now. I'm Mayuri Shina's daughter. My name is Kagari. Huh? But you're older than me, Kagari. And Mayushi's never, had a baby or anything. I mean, I'm from the future. Future, you adopted me when I was an orphan. Mayushi did? That's right. You were the one who gave me a reason to live. You sent me to the safest place you could think of so that I wouldn't be in danger. The safest place? Past. You probably thought that if I lived in a time when Japan was at peace, I could be safe. I still missed you. I couldn't find you here. No matter how safe it is, I didn't want to live without you. Mommy. I missed you.
Kagari clung to Mayuri on the soft bed and cried for a long time. At first, Mayuri was confused, but she eventually hugged her back, gently.
Kagari. Mommy. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It must have been so hard. You must have been so lonely. You were sad for so long because of me, weren't you? I'm sorry. Mommy!
And that's how I, Kagari Shina, got all my memories back. The next several months were wonderful. Every day I would come to the lab and play with Mommy and her friends. They were all wonderful people. There was never a moment where something fun wasn't happening. Mommy especially tried to spend as much time with me as possible. We'd eat together. Go shopping together. Or sometimes just walk around with no goal in mind. A normal life was everything I'd ever wanted. The voice I'd heard from before began to vanish as I spent more time with her. Mommy always smiled, and she always seemed so happy to hear what I had to say. I was so happy. We had a lot of sleepovers too. The lab, at Mommy's house, at Uka's house. We'd stay up late eating snacks and talking, and then I'd sleep in the same futon as Mommy. We'd both whisper that song. That song that she told me brought us together. And it did. When I was little, Mommy taught me this song. And she learned it from Big Sis Suzuha. And Big Sis Suzuha learned it from Yuki. And Yuki learned it from Uncle Ocarina's mom. And Uncle Ocarina's mom learned it from Uncle Ocarina. And he didn't know for sure. But if that was true, it was wonderful. I talked about a lot more with Mommy. About school, about the lab, about Uncle Ocarina, about the future, about love, about all kinds of things. One day she said this to me.
Hey, Kagari. Maybe she had an idea. Maybe this song is a song to make the person you love feel better. They lost their most important treasure and they got so sad they finally just went to sleep. No matter how much you shake them, they won't wake up. That's how sad they are. But that treasure isn't really gone. It's actually so close they can reach out and touch it. But they don't realize it's so close. All they do is sleep. But really, you know they're waiting for someone to wake them up. Because that person is right next to them. They're not gone at all. I don't know when, but I know that someday they'll wake up. That's why I think that song is.
And Mommy looked at me and smiled. Her eyes seemed so clear and calm as she gazed at the moonlight coming in through the curtains. It was the first time I'd seen such a pretty color. But when I thought back, I'd actually seen it once before. That day, That rainy day when I got my memories back. She had that same look in her eyes when she held me. She kept saying the same thing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Kagari. I thought that she was apologizing for what she'd done in the future. I thought that she was apologizing for leaving me all alone. But she wasn't. That apology was only from the Mayuri Shina who lived in 2011. She was saying that she was sorry for leaving me alone. It was about half a year later when I realized this. July 7th, 2011. The day of Tanabata. To tell the truth, I had known it was coming.
I wonder why Mommy wanted me to come here. Maybe she's thinking of a surprise?
Kagari whispered as if she wanted it to be true. Today was July 7th, Tanabata. The lab was going to have a Tanabata party with the Tanoji family on the roof of the building. It was essentially an excuse to hold a barbecue. The sky was clear that day, so the night stars were sure to be pretty.
I have to get back and keep getting ready. Mommy's help, of course.
I knew it was coming. I knew what this meant. I knew, but I pretended I didn't. I didn't want to come here. I didn't want to see this. I wanted to look away. Took one step after another toward the roof.
I need to hurry. Mommy's waiting. Why now? Mommy!
When I opened the door, I was met with a burst of warm wind in the gentle summer twilight. The stars could already be seen twinkling in the evening sky. Mayuri was there. She was standing right next to the time machine. She had one hand on her head to keep the wind from blowing away her hat, and another reached out toward the sky. Her open hand stretched straight up towards the Akihabara sky, as if she was trying to grab the brightest star. Her eyes seemed to look past the stars towards something beyond. It was so pretty, so ephemeral, so fragile.
Mommy!
Kagari couldn't stop herself from crying out. It felt like if she didn't stop her, the stars would take her mother away.
Oh, Kagari! Do-do-do! Mommy!
Tension started to drain from Kagari's body. Good. Mommy was acting normal now. There was nothing to worry about. Mommy would never leave her. Ever. When Kagari ran over, Mayuri lowered the hand that she reached out towards the sky.
What's wrong? Why did you want me to come here?
Mayuri smiled, slightly embarrassed, and spun the other way. Then she looked up at the time machine.
This is what you came here in, isn't it, Kagari? I bring that up. It's not something I...
Her words caught in her throat. She realized that the time machine's hatch was open.
Why? Why is the time machine's hatch open?
And then someone appeared from within the time machine.
Kagari? Why are you... That's what I want to know. What are you two doing? Exist Mayu. You promised you'd keep it a secret from Kagari. Sorry I didn't tell you, Suzu. Maybe she wanted to say goodbye to Kagari no matter what. I'll be done soon, so keep getting ready. Okay. Once you're done, get in.
Suzuha disappeared back inside the time machine.
Secret? Goodbye? Getting ready? What are you two talking about? don't understand.
She did understand. She'd known exactly what was coming since she got the message from her mother. But she didn't want to accept it. She didn't want to accept that the time machine was going to tear her away from her mother again.
Listen, maybe she's about to go back into the past with Suzu. So that the person she loves can wake up. It's impossible. World lines are going to converge. No matter how hard you try, you can't change them. No one can! You're right. Maybe she can't change them. And... but you know Green can. Green has the power to change the future. And even Mayushi can go back to that day and give him a little push. That day is our only chance. It won't work!
Kagari grabbed Mayuri's arms, but she just smiled, sadly.
Even if it doesn't, maybe she wants to see him again. Yomahoin, I want to see my Hikoboshi again. No.
But she knew this was coming. Ever since the day she got her memories back, Kagari's life had been truly happy. She'd lived every day in a peaceful Japan with no war and with Mayuri and the rest of the lab. Every day shined like a jewel, and she'd thought that it would last forever. But she'd known what that look in Mayuri's eyes had meant. She'd known why even when everyone was having fun, Mayuri always seemed kind of sad.
About me? What happens to me? If Uncle Ocarine does reach Steins Gate, the war won't happen. Maybe a lot of people will be saved. Then I won't be able to meet you. That's not true. No matter what the future holds, I'm going to meet you. In that world, you might not be alone. You might have a happy life with your real mom and dad. But even if you do, I'll still come see you. And then we can be really, really, really good friends. So you don't need to worry about a thing. You and I might forget about each other. How can you come find me if you don't remember me? It's impossible. Nope. Maybe she will know who you are. How? How can you be sure? Because that's fate. The bond between Mayushi and Kagari won't be broken by anything. So even if we lose our memories, Mayushi will come find you. Mommy.
Tears like pearls fell from Mayuri's eyes, but she kept smiling at Kagari anyway. And for the first time, Kagari realized how strong Mayuri Shina really was. She realized even if Mayuri didn't, how tough and strong her will was. This girl who seemed so small and fragile believed in the power of the future more than anyone in the world.
Okay, I'm going to go.
Mayuri was about to get in the time machine. She could see Mayuri's legs shaking with each step up the ladder she took. She couldn't let this happen. It would just end up like that day in 2036. Kagari couldn't take that anymore.
Wait!
Kagari clung to Mayuri's body.
Huh? I won't let you go to the past. I'll go instead.
Kagari grabbed the phone that Mayuri was holding, and then pulled down on her hard.
Ah!
Mayuri lost her balance and fell off the ladder. And Kagari leapt inside.
Kagari, are you crazy?
Kagari ignored her and leaned out of the hatch to smile down at Mayuri.
Mommy, I'll take care of Uncle Ocarine. So just wait there. Kagari! Pixie and Suzuha, close the hatch.
You sure?
Yeah.
Alright. The hatch started to close. Mayu was staring up at Kagari in shock.
Kagari! Mommy, I'll always love you. In the past, in the present, and in the future.
And then the hatch closed. She couldn't see her beloved mother anymore. She wiped away the tears, sat down in the passenger seat, and strapped herself in. Suzuha sat in the main seat and grinned.
I didn't think I'd be doing this with you twice. I've just gone back to the first time, is all. It was nothing like the first time. You were sobbing like a baby then. You were crying a little too, Big Sis Suzuha.
You're right.
Let's go, Kagari. Past. Okay.
Suzuha tapped at the console, and the whole seat started to shake. At the same time, a pale light began to shine from within the machine. The time travel was beginning. There was no guarantee it would work. She might never see Mayuri again, but she swore that she would make this succeed. As the daughter of Mayuri Shina.
Searching for one thing. Laughter of the stars. Shining on the wind. If you reach out, you can grab it.
No matter how far apart they were, that song would connect them together. And here, we have reached the end of Recursive Mother Goose. Recursive Mother Goose completed. New item, yeah, new wallpapers, yada yada yada. And there we have reached the KAGARI ending. Oh boy. Clear list. Let's see where we are now. Gehenna's Stigma, Twin Automata, and a Recursive Mother Goose. So I knew the tune originally, but the English lyrics didn't really match up with the tune, so I figured that instead of trying to force it, I would just sort of come up with something, and then I never did, so I'm sorry if that was kind of weird and off-key. But, beside the point, I love that. The only thing that really bugs me is the fact that there's a bootstrap paradox in that ending, and I don't really know how I feel about bootstrap paradoxes in the world of Steins Gate. But I do absolutely love the bond that was developed there, and that ending was so hype. It was so delightful to see her become so determined to fix everything. And just overall delightful. And the little music video ending, cute as hell. Just a little slideshow of this was my life. This is what I cared for. This is what I valued. Anyways, absolutely delightful. Next time we will be going back to the divergence point and continuing along the true storyline to whatever next divergent point there is. But we're running a little bit low on endings, come to think of it. We've only got 2 more before the true ending, I think? Not entirely sure. But overall, so cute, love it to bits, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed it as well. But for now, that, I think, is a pretty good place to cut it. So thank you all so much for following my playthrough of Steins Gate 0, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye now.